The Lead. Sponsored by Lavish Boutique, Lavish Coffee, Jasper Veterinary Clinic, Jasper Bone and Joint, and Carl Cannon Chevrolet Buick GMC.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Greg Tinker for The Lead, and I am honored today and so excited about this interview with the championship basketball team from Jasper High School, the 5A girls champs, and we have three of the representatives from the team and of course Coach Laney. So we're going to talk about the season, we're going to talk about the tournament, and of course the championship. But before we do any of that, I want the girls to introduce themselves, and once they've done that, then we'll begin with the actual interview.
I'm Melissa Odom.
Mia Hollingsworth.
Deja Mercer.
Coach Laney can introduce himself if he wants to, but this is Coach Laney. Now, Missy, you said Melissa. Now you know that people are going to say, I didn't know her name was Melissa, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, but that's all right. So Missy Odom or Melissa Odom, whichever. We'll go with whichever one you want. So first of all, congratulations to all of you. You made history. You did something that's never been done in the history of Walker or Jasper High School, and that is to win a basketball championship, boys or girls. So you are unique, and as far as history is concerned, you will always be the first. So that's a pretty remarkable accomplishment, and I want us to get that established from the very beginning. Walker Jasper's over 100 years old, so that is really an amazing accomplishment, and I hope that's had time to sink in, which leads to the first question. What's it been like for you guys post-championship? I know you've been in a routine for many years of going to practice, playing the games, going to practice, playing the games, the season's over, then you do off-season workouts in summer, and then you come back and do it all over again. Well, now, at least for two of you, that routine has ended. Missy has a couple more years of basketball, but so what's life been like since then?
It's been great. Just like looking back at our year, like we had a great run, and just like knowing like it's finally over, like with the seniors, and like our 2-year run is over, and like when I come back in June or July, is it June? Summer? June. I won't see them at practice, so it's gonna be a little weird. But as soon as like after the championship game, we had softball practice, so I'd get in softball. So it's been going and stuff. So I haven't had really time to think about it for real.
I would say I kind of went straight into golf. I would definitely prefer basketball practice probably over golf, just because I get to be with like some of my best friends. But just like being out in the community and going out to eat and seeing everybody like congratulating you, it's just been awesome. So
life for me has been really sweet. It was kind of a short-lived celebration because, like Missy said, we had softball practice literally the day after, and I felt like I had no clue what I was doing out there. But yeah, just without basketball, it's kind of weird. I texted the group chat like a couple of days after, and I was like, I'm literally packing my stuff up for basketball practice, like we have basketball practice or something. So yeah, it's been kind of weird, but it's just been a heck of a journey.
I had to look at my calendar a while ago and realize it's been 2 weeks since we won a championship, and it feels like in one sense like it was yesterday, and the other sense it feels like it's been 3 or 4 months. But I think just hearing everybody in the community and how they're so excited and just seeing the joy on their face, I think that's been the most special part.
Well, and I texted this to you, I think, afterwards. Y'all won't understand this. Only Coach and I can understand this because we're Sand Mountain boys, okay? So from up in North Alabama. But the little school that I attended in elementary school, the 2A school that I attended in elementary school, and that Coach Laney actually coached at early in his career and competed against when he was in high school, Ider High School, won the girls' state championship in 2A. And so Coach Laney, being from that area, being the winning coach in 5A, Sand Mountain kind of owned the basketball championship. So how's it been up on Sand Mountain with all your family and friends and everybody?
Just a lot of thank you or congratulations, and thank you for what all you've done, even when you were back home. But I text Coach Pruitt, the coach at Ider, and just told him, he done a great job, and it's pretty cool seeing people from Sand Mountain, win championships.
Yep. So long season doesn't seem that way now that it's over, right? It's a blink of an eye, and goodness, it gets by like that. But long season, so what did we end up, Coach? 31-2.
31-2.
31-2.
31-4. Sorry.
I'm sorry. 31-4. In 35 games, this is going to be hard to do. But a highlight, we can just go in reverse order, Coach, since you have the mic, and we'll work it back and forth that way. So sorry to do that, to just pick one, but a highlight of the season.
Probably the game where we set the state record for threes in a game, and more just like it was fun, like just seeing, the excitement on their faces and just them enjoying what we were doing. That was probably the most exciting to me.
I've said it in a past interview, but really beating Pleasant Grove, that win just felt so good. And it was just like we were all just so pumped for it, and you could really see it in our faces and just how we played that we really wanted to win that really bad.
I'm going to have to agree with AHSAA. I think the Pleasant Grove game, once it was over, it was kind of like a huge relief. Even though we knew, the finals was still going to be tough. We didn't look over that, but after beating Pleasant Grove, it was kind of like just a sigh of relief to know that we made it further than last year.
I would say the Good Hope game, for real. The first time we played them, because before that, the Hearts, is it Hamilton? The Hamilton game, we got chewed out after we won for 30 minutes and the next game we came in, played together, even though we lost. But I feel like that's when we really bonded and started playing together for real.
So now let's move to the tournament. So you win the regular season, and you get to host the tournament here, and then you move on to the sub-regional, which we hosted, and then the regional. So there was a lot of basketball postseason, and maybe you've already said it, so if you need to say that again about Pleasant Grove, that's okay. But throughout that tournament stretch, now let's stay away from Birmingham on this one because that one's coming, okay? But from area tournament through to get to Birmingham, what's a highlight?
I would say the Pleasant Grove game is we really wanted that game, and they would say whoever won that game wins state or whatever. So I just feel beating them really got over the hump and got our nerves out and playing together.
I'm gonna have to go with the West Point game. Honestly, I think we all were a little nervous going in there. A lot of them could shoot, and for us to be able to go in and give them a 20-piece, it kind of really built the confidence to face Pleasant Grove.
I'd have to say the same thing I said last time, but really beating Pleasant Grove.
I'm going to say the West Point game, and I actually was the most nervous going into that game. You never know, one game scenario, they were a really good team, and like Mia just said, beating them by 20 plus, kind of set the tone for the rest of the postseason.
Do you feel, let's just talk about that game for a moment, and I'm going to ask an additional question to this, so it'll be a two-parter, okay? But do you feel like that game was one of our most complete games in terms of offense and defense? Because it seemed to me, watching, that game, really, we played well together, we shot well, we defended well. It was as complete a game as I think we played for the season.
Yeah, I think especially down the stretch, that was, really big that we played so well that game. Being a Sweet 16 game, knowing the next 3 games we would have to play really good to have a chance to win. So I think that kind of set the tone for the rest of the postseason. We had a really good game offensively and defensively. But if you'll look back, we won a championship because of our defense. Our defense really stepped up over the course of the season. I feel like we got better as the season went on. So I think, probably, offensively and defensively, we played as good that game as we had in a long time.
So now a highlight from Birmingham. Obviously, you played 2 games there, Brubaker, and then in the championship against Scottsboro. So either one of those, and I guess maybe lean toward the Scottsboro game because the Brubaker game, you guys took care of business pretty early on. Somebody was pretty hot shooting the basketball that game and kind of stretched out. But so whichever you choose, or both if you want to, a highlight from either game since you were in Birmingham playing in the big arena. I think that's probably the biggest arena you guys have played in, I would suspect. And the turnout from Jasper in both games, but especially for the championship, was fantastic. I mean, we had, I don't know how many, couple thousand people there or more maybe, but it was really special, I'm sure, to run out on the big floor, to play on statewide TV, and then to have so many folks cheering for you that game. So I did a lot of talking in the midst of that to set that up, but a highlight from the championship in Birmingham.
I'm going to say the first 2 or 3 minutes of the Brubaker game, because all of our first time being there, like, you really don't know what to expect, how we're going to respond. And after about 2 or 3 minutes, I was like, all right, let's go. Like, we're ready. And that was probably my most memorable.
Low key, when Mia just turned up and she just like went off, I was just like, wow. But yeah.
I'm gonna have to say, well, going into it, so many people came to me and they're like, that gym's so tough to shoot in. Like, you're gonna have to, get to the basket a couple times before you take a three. Like, and so usually, like, what we do every game is Missy will tip it to Audasia towards our basket, and then me and AG both crash the lane. Well, as soon as Audasia got the tip and threw it to me, there was a girl sitting right in the lane, and I was like, well, I guess can't drive the lane. So shooting the three and making my first shot, I guess once I made that, I felt like the bucket got bigger, but I would rather shoot in that gym than any other gym, I'd say. So I don't know why people say it's harder, but I thought it was pretty easy.
I have to go with Mia, just like the tip. And when she got going, made that first three, I knew like she's gonna have a good game, like she's on, and it's gonna be tough to stop her and stop us if she's on. So I think that's really what it was.
Yeah. Well, that did, you guys right out of the chute, you just took care of business in that game. And then in the Scottsboro game, things were a little more back and forth. So let's talk a little bit about that game, because now all of a sudden it is the championship game and it's going to be the last game. And something you said, Mia, in a previous interview that I wanted to highlight in this one, because it was such an astute observation, that when you're playing high school sports, there's only one team. And I guess if you're doing an individual sport like tennis, still it's team oriented, but tennis or golf or something. But as a team, there's only one group that can say at the end of their career, I left as a winner. My very last game was a win. And so talk a little bit about we'll start and go across, but talk a little bit about that game as it went back and forth and the build up throughout and what it was like, as the game progressed in terms of your confidence of winning that game.
I would say like that was like our worst, like maybe one of our worst games we played all season for real. But just coming out and like it's a championship game, like we have to lay it all on the line. This will probably be our last time playing together, and like you don't want to take this for granted because you never know if you'll be back there again. So just coming out on top just really made it feel good.
I would say even like when I was at Hamilton, I was like the water girl for my dad when I was in like 5th and 6th grade when he coached. And every year, like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th at Hamilton, I saw, and Laney Garrett last year, like the last game, everybody loses, they all cry. And I was like, it's going to be me one day. Like, I just knew it was going to be me. And so for it to not be me, for us to, especially the seniors, going out on a win, it was really special.
I would say, honestly, I was going into the Brubaker Tech game, I was a little bit more worried than Scottsboro, really. And then we got into the game and it was back and forth, and I was like, oh, shoot. And really props to them because, like, they're, a young team, and they really showed up and showed out, and they played hard. But, yeah, winning that game, it just was kind of like a big reward for all the hard work we put in.
Let's come back to Mia just for a second, and then we'll go to Coach. So, Mia, we talked about this a little bit before we started the interview, that there was a point, and I was trying to remember if it was late in the third or maybe into the fourth, where it seemed, and you verified that, and you can talk a little bit about your mindset on that, where you decided, we're winning this. I am determined that whatever I've got to do, we're winning this championship. And down the stretch, you walked to the line, I don't know, 3 times, 4 times, and you knocked down free throws that really were the difference in the game. So talk a little bit about your mindset, as it was kind of a back and forth, and Scottsboro had built a little bit of momentum, but something clicked and you said, not going to happen.
I feel like having that kind of perspective is, I guess, easier to do in the last game because it is the last game. But myself and the team, I feel like once you got us in the championship game, like we would do anything possible. And so, like, I knew my shot wasn't falling, and so I mean I had to get to the rim. So that's just what I did.
Well, and the free throws too. How many, do you remember how many you made down the stretch?
I don't even know.
Okay, all right, but you went to the line
Yes,
with
sir.
the game on the line, and so that goes back to when you were dribbling the ball as a little kid over on the side when your dad was coaching, and then every opportunity you got, you shot what 100,000, 200,000 free throws in your
Probably.
lifetime, and so now it comes down to all of that practice, all that repetition, and you're standing on the line like anybody would think. I'm standing here in this place with the championship on the line. I've done this however many thousands of times, and you stepped up there and you big timed it. You made them.
Thankfully, I don't think I was thinking about. I think if I sat there and thought, "Wow, this is a state championship game," and everybody's looking, I probably would have missed it. But I think we're all so focused. I really just shot it like it was practice.
Yeah. So, Coach, obviously you build a game plan for a championship game. You've beaten Brubaker, now Scottsboro is next. So as you and the coaches got together and you establish a game plan, and then as the game goes on, of course, you've got to make adjustments. And maybe we didn't have our best shooting game overall, and Scottsboro maybe did play a little bit above, as Idasia said, they're a young team. And it seemed like they were really inspired to play a little above maybe their level, which happens sometimes in a championship game. So talk about the strategy before and the in-game adjustments.
We knew they were going to play hard. That's one thing that they do. They shoot the three really well, and they play hard. And they play like 9 girls. So we knew it was going to be a test. We knew that we couldn't play on man the whole entire game. We wanted to play man probably a little bit more than we did. But our game plan was mostly playing zone. They eventually started kind of hurting us in our zone. So then we went to man, which ended up being the difference in the game. But just a really good team, a solid team, and we didn't play our best. But, at the same time, we found a way to win. There was times we could have folded and just given up. And, I mean, you could see in their eyes, we wasn't going to get beat. But talking about free throws, we were 14 of 18 from the free throw line, which was the difference in the game. And I think Missy hit the last one, right, Missy? When she hit that last one to put us up 4, like that's the first time I thought, hey, all right, this is real.
You could breathe.
Yeah, breathe a little bit. But it was just like, as a fan, I would have loved to have been in the stands watching that game. As a coach on the floor, it's a little bit different. But like, it just shows you how good high school girls basketball can be when it's played the right way.
So Coach Laney, talk about what it was like to coach this team this season. You got 3 all tournament players here and the MVP of the state. Talk about, as a coach, as a coaching staff, you can speak for the rest of them, what it was like to have the honor and the privilege of coaching these young ladies.
Well, you don't win without great players. I mean, no team wins a championship without great players. They're the reason we won a championship. And I keep going back, like, they're really good kids. You see some teams that have really good athletes and they have low character. We have really good athletes with very high character, come from really good families. So just being around them and being able to coach kids that play the right way, act the right way, and you never have to get on to like outside of basketball is just a testament to to them and their families for being raised the right way.
So now, girls, each of you, all tournament, talk about that honor of being selected in all of the state of Alabama. Here are the best basketball players in the state of Alabama. I'm sitting among greatness right now. So, and then Mia to be MVP. And I know that you're a very humble young lady, and that's one of the things that makes you the wonderful person that you are. But it's okay to talk about that in relation to what that means to you. So, so 2-part question, being a part of this team and then being selected to be part of the all-state team.
I mean, it's been an honor to be a part of this team and, step on the court with these girls every game. And, it was an honor to be up there for all tournament and to, be up there with them. And I never really cared for achievements. And, I wouldn't have cared to be all tournament as long as we won that last game. That was what I was worried about. But, yeah, I felt like just a big relief to finally, get that just as a going out reward, I guess.
I would say, like, as far as being on the team, like, Idasia couldn't have won state by herself. I couldn't have won state at Hamilton by myself. She couldn't have won by herself at Oakman, but you put all of us together and we won state. So I would say just with us getting all tournament, like, going out, I feel like it was finally everything we've ever worked for. Like, that's what it did. It just showed everything we've worked for. I know me and Idasia have been on varsity for 6 years, so.
Being on this team is like an honor, like they said. Just being able to step on this court with these girls and being in the locker room with them, I wouldn't trade them for anybody. And being all tournament team, like it's a privilege and a blessing, but I wouldn't care about that. As long as we got the win, that's all that really mattered.
So, a couple things to wrap up. Future plans. I know we've already said softball right now, golf right now. But since you've won the championship and since you were selected all tournament, have you had any offers? Has anybody approached you and said, hey, we'd like for you to consider coming to play here? I know we've talked about your plans at Hansville, but maybe somebody has approached you since then and said, you know, especially since Bart Height said that you're the best shooter in the state, male or female. And so, you know, he gave you props on that. So has anybody come to you since then and said, hey, we would like for you to consider doing this? And maybe, Missy, you would want to talk about some of the offers that you have already as a sophomore.
Yeah, I have a couple offers, and I got them from AAU, and, you know, just having that, like, there for me, and, you know, they're not committable, but, you know, I got to keep on working for them, and, you know, they're always going to be there if I need them.
Well, let's hold on. Is that related to softball or basketball?
Softball, I can't get them till my 11th grade year, but basketball, I can get them right now, so, but people have, like, been sending me mail and stuff like that, but it's nothing really serious.
I would say since then I haven't really posted my commitment to Wallace for golf and or basketball, but there have been a few smaller schools reach out that I've had to like tell I've committed to. But I definitely know I have committed to golf, but I definitely know next year when everybody's playing basketball and I'm not, I'm gonna be a little upset. So.
Right now, I would say my main option is West Alabama. I'll continue my basketball career. I haven't committed to anything, but as far as my future, I think that's where I'm going to go.
To the University of Alabama?
West Alabama,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. I missed that west part.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So, so you all will continue in some way, of course, you got a couple more years here, but continue in some way in athletics. That's that important to you to continue in that realm. And wherever you land, you're going to make those places better because, as Coach said, you're all high character young ladies, and you've made Jasper High School a better place because of your presence here, and you've lifted the level and the expectation of others because of winning the championship. Of course, we've won a wrestling championship, we've won volleyball championships, and the band has been champions. I think they're back-to-back champions in band, and we've had tennis championships. But to get this basketball championship, it being unique like it is, I think what you guys have been able to do is to raise the level of expectation for everybody within the program, within the school, and within the community. And you've brought excitement back to basketball in Jasper. And, you know, that was provable by the number of people who attended the games this year. You know, all of our home games are well attended. And, of course, the boys included in that because of the great season that they had and the hard work that they put in. So, on behalf of the community, I want to say thank you to you guys for doing that, because it's not easy to do. Winning a championship is a very, very difficult thing to do. In the final analysis, there's only one team that gets to say that at the end of any season. And so it's a really remarkable thing that you guys have accomplished. We'll finish up with this. If there's any last thing that you want to say about your experience here at Jasper High, about the community, whatever it may happen to be, but any kind of last thing you'd like to add, and we can start with Coach Laney.
I think I've said in every interview since the tournament is just the community support, how great it was. I mean, there's no telling how many people came to Birmingham those last two games, and just to see them and just see their excitement and, you know, their love for basketball is just, you know, makes Jasper a special place.
Yeah, I would agree with Coach Laney, just the community and everyone supporting us and, always just cheering us on. And, even just the staff here at Jasper and, our fellow students, they're just always supporting us and, giving congratulations and letting us know, like, what we did was pretty big. And, we're just thankful for them.
Hold on, did your dad ever have anything to do with your basketball ability?
Yes, he did. I always tease him, like, because he was like, I taught you everything or whatever. And I was like, I actually taught myself how to go between the legs and, like, well, fight about that. But, yeah, without him, I wouldn't, be the player or person that I am today. And, just forever in debt and grateful for him.
Yeah, her dad, Sean Mercer, was a wonderful athlete here at Walker High School, and I had the privilege of coaching him when he was in middle school, and a great dad and mentor to a lot of people, but been training you since you were very, very young.
Yes, sir.
And so sum that up, and I guess I would say the same about your dad, about Vess. Maybe he had a little bit to do with your success.
Yeah, he had a little bit. I would say where I came from, the community was nothing like this. So to move here and have everybody behind you, like teammates, classmates, community, people you don't even know, it's been amazing, really.
I would like to say the community as well. They've been there for us, cheering for us, like through like November. So they've been showing a lot of support and showed up at the last 2 games, and just gave us a great environment. And we wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Yeah, and I want to ask an additional question about this, because you come from a kind of a major league sports family, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like they were in Major League Baseball, but I'm talking about your dad played at Alabama, and then you've got brothers playing D1 football. Has there been any pressure on you? You're the only girl in the family, right? So has there been any pressure on you to kind of live up to those expectations of that, or have they just kind of let you be you?
I would say I'll give a little bit of credit to them, because like going in that household, they've just like been rough on me, made me the person I am today. Fight with me and stuff like that. But I definitely look up to them, and I would say to them, I'm the best athlete in the family. And so they think that I'm not, but I clearly am. So just giving them like the praise and all that. I'm so thankful for them too.
Well, I would say this, and I would put money on this. I will bet that in a free throw contest or in horse, you could beat every one of them every time, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not even close.
For sure.
Not even close. Because I've talked about the whole season long about the beauty of Missy's shot. And as Coach said when she made that free throw that gave us the 4-point lead there at the end of the game, kind of sealed the deal, and everybody could exhale and say, boy. And but you had the same mentality as your teammates when you went to the line. It's like, I'm here and I'm confident in what I'm doing. I'm going to make the shot. Yeah. So and that's what it takes to win championships. It takes people with skill, but also with confidence and heart and loving each other as a team. And that's what we got to witness this year. And it was a really, Coach, you got to see it up close and personal. But for me, from a distance, a thing of beauty. And I just want to say that to you guys about how much joy it was to me personally, and I know to the community, having coached 29 years and not ever having won a championship at that level, to even be on the periphery of it and get to be part of that. So thanks for allowing us to live vicariously through your wins and being champions. Speaking of champions, there's going to be a parade. It's going to be on the 24th of March. It will be much like the homecoming parades that we have for football in the fall. And it will highlight these ladies and also the wrestling team, the band, and the cheerleading squad.
And April 24th.
Oh, sorry. April 24th. So forget I said March. April 24th. So April the 24th, there will be a parade in town, downtown, just like, as I said, we do in the fall for the football homecoming parade. Any last thing, Coach, in relation to that or anything else?
I don't have all the info right now. I'm sure there'll be a lot more information given out in the next few weeks. But April the 24th, I think it's going to be a really big event. And, it's something really cool for these athletes, something for them to get to experience.
So I hope all of you got to keep your jersey from the win, and you've signed it, and those are now on whatever site y'all sell things on. So so you can make NIL money or whatever, right? I don't know. It has just been a whole lot of fun all the way through, all the way back to 7th grade year, getting to watch you play and be a part of your life in other ways, and the life of your family through your dad. And then to get to do this today. And Coach Laney, you and I have been friends now a long time, and I'm just so proud for you as a coach, because it is a rare thing to be able to win a state championship, and now you've always got that. Have the rings been ordered?
They have been ordered.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll be here April the 24th, and y'all can show those off as you ride through. Instead of doing the homecoming wave, y'all can do the right, show off your state championship rings. It's been a ton of fun. I appreciate you guys today sitting down with us and talking on the lead. And there may be a time where we have you come down to the Blanton building and sign the poster. We want to get your names on there as state champions, and we'll arrange for that to happen. But it's been delightful to be with you guys today. So this is Greg Tinker, along with the state champions, 5A girls state champions, saying good afternoon from the lead.
The Lead, sponsored by Lavish Boutique, Lavish Coffee, Jasper Veterinary Clinic, Jasper Bone and Joint, and Carl Cannon Chevrolet Buick GMC.